What's up guys? Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do a side flip. So when learning a side flip, there's a few things that you should really focus on. The first one's going to be the pivot. So basically what the pivot does is it changes your forward momentum from when you're running to a sideways whip so that your feet kind of want to flip out from underneath you, and it gives you the energy to push yourself off it. It's like a pole vaulter, how they're running with a pole and they just stick it. Well, you're going in, you're running, and then you just pivot and push. Alright, so now we're going to break down what each part of your body does when you're doing the side flip, so that way you know how everything works together in the flip. First thing, when you're going into side flip, you've got the pivot down. You put your foot, you change your running forward momentum into sideways momentum, and you're going into the side flip. But what you kind of want to do is you want to make sure this foot's angled sideways, turn, and as you're pushing, you want to use this foot to guide you into the flip, and this foot's going to get you height. So it's going to be like a 1, 2, and you're push off this left leg, and this leg is going to drive you straight up. So then what the second thing is going to be, so as you're going into the side flip, you're going to have to focus on your arms. So what your arms are going to do is your right arm, if you're flipping sideways to the right, is going to go underneath you and pretty much clean out your feet. That's how I describe it. Like, it's taking both of these legs off the ground like that. So after you get your pivot and you push up, and as soon as you get the air, this arm takes this leg off the ground. This leg's continuing to kick like you're kicking someone over here, and this arm will pull you up and over. So it's going to be like all together, pivot, press, stretch your arm out, pull, and then you grab this arm as it's coming, your foot's coming up, you pull it over the top. Okay, so if you're a little nervous about doing a side flip, the first thing you shouldn't be, because honestly, when you go into a side flip, you're just rolling over the top of your back, so it's not like you're gonna land on your neck or anything. The worst thing that's gonna happen is you'll get the air knocked out of you, which is pretty bad, but it's not that bad. So what we're gonna do to get over the fear, if you have any, is you're gonna go into progression. So the first progression, I'm gonna give you a simple cartwheel. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just kind of to give you the air awareness of what your body's gonna be doing. Because in a cartwheel, you go down the same way, this foot kicks you up, this one guides you, and both hands will work the same way. So in a cartwheel, just come in, jump into it, and just do a simple cartwheel like that. And you're gonna add a little bit more height each time, so that you start feeling what it's gonna feel like to get up in the air. So then it may look a little bit like this. So it's kind of just like doing a side flip, because you're gonna set the same exact way, but you're just gonna keep getting more and more height each time. And then when you feel a little bit comfortable with that, and you feel like getting off the air is not bad, and you feel like going sideways is not scary, I'm going to teach you how to go into the next progression, which is going to be use a friend or a block or a table or like a picnic bench or something. So for the next part, what you're going to do is you're going to grab someone, your friend, your dad, sister, it doesn't matter, and you're going to explain to them what you're going to want to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to have whoever you brought out go and pretty much flatten their back out, make their back flat, so that way you can learn how to roll over the top of it in a side flip. That way it's going to be essentially the same thing as if you're doing a cartwheel. Now you're just getting used to your back going flat. So go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to show you is start out lower at first, because a lot of times if the higher the person goes, the harder it's going to be to flip. So I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to go ahead and use less of his back just because I know how to do a side flip. But if you don't know how to do the side flip yet, you can always do it a little bit more, just like stand here and roll. So it's going to be take your left foot, or depending on which way you flip, pivot, and then roll. I'll show you real quickly right here. Pivot and jump, and then roll over the top of your friend's back, and then when you open up, it'll be pretty simple. Just do that a couple times to get comfortable. Use less and less of his back till it looks something like this. Go ahead and do the same thing. So you're gonna use less and less of his back. You can go a little bit higher if you feel more comfortable. It'll be here, and then up and over. And you see, like, he doesn't have to use as much of his back anymore, and he won't have to support you nearly as much. So let's say you can't get access to a friend, and you, let's say, have a table outside, a picnic table, or just something that looks kind of like this. What you're gonna do is you're gonna grab whatever you got, and if it's wooden like this, you may need something softer on the top just so that way it doesn't hurt. Grab a blanket or something. So I have this little pad right here, and it's gonna work the exact same way as your friend does. Is you're just gonna stand here, and then you're gonna take a couple steps into it, and then just roll right over the top until you get comfortable. Same concept, use less and less of this each time so you can flip over the top of it. So what a lot of people are going to end up doing is you'll probably, when you first start out doing this flip, you'll end up bringing instead of your back being flat like this, you'll have your back tilted, so it's going to make the side flip, you'll land like really low, and you just got to get used to like pulling your knees in tighter and just get comfortable with that. But honestly, it's a really simple trick. So in conclusion, I'm gonna go briefly over what we've learned today. So take your running momentum, running forward, pivot, and then this foot's gonna be your guide foot, this is gonna be your push foot, it's gonna drive you up in the air. You're gonna stretch out, take your right arm, if you're flipping to the right, pull it in, and pull these feet off the ground. Tilt your back flat, face this way with your eyes. Always want to be facing this way. That's really important because if you look this way, you'll end up doing a different style side flip that you might get a little bit scared of. You're gonna lean in, scoop this foot out, this foot will kick, and it'll pull. I'll show you a slow motion clip of right now of what I'm talking about. That way you understand what it's gonna look like. You're gonna go pivot, guide, press, reach out, scoop, and then pull. And as you're coming out of the landing, it's really simple. Just look for the ground and it's gonna be like a step out, 1, 2. All right guys, that concludes today's video. If you enjoyed the video and you learned anything, make sure you leave a like and share with your friends. If you want me to do any kind of tutorial, drop it down in the comment section. Tell me what you want. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.